Good morning, this afternoon, evening, lunchtime, midnight, wherever we are. I've been sitting here stalling, unheard of, unheard of. Looking for my synchronization, waiting for Godot. And I know, Blue Hand, I know better than to sit here and wait for inspiration, white wind. Red, self-existing earth. In the wave spell of the white wizard. As I speak, I stand at this crossroad, look at the seal skin, look at the information, share it. It's gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. Have I mentioned that it's gorgeous? Or just become very still and let it flow. In both cases, it feels as though I'm not moving at this crossroad. I'm looking at the options, both directions. I'm absolutely minimalizing this very complicated or complex equation inside me there to a simplicity of duality. Go left or go right. And I notice something keeps me from taking this step. It's like if I make a decision, I lose access to the other option. That's what it feels like. On some level, I'm noticing how I'm not wanting to make that decision. I want to remain, I want to keep myself in this superposition. Oh goodness. I breathe. Keep breathing. Of course, the guide today. Oh, how can I not talk about the seals? It's a Skywalker. Tone 4 gives form. The earth is form giving and guided by the space walker, the Skywalker. It's form giving to the second wave spell of timelessness, enchantment, receptivity. The seed, the wind, and the blue hand are the accompanying seals today. The yellow seed, I'm reminded of the seed. Seeds tend to, correct me if I'm wrong, fall onto the earth. The earth is receptive, receives the seed by whichever means the seed makes its way or starts putting out a little root shoot, and digs itself into the ground, or the earth just kind of like sucks the seed into her darkness, and there it grows, starts to open up, and grow. It's a receptive, something receptive. I'm thinking receptivity, the earth. Somewhere there must be the counterbalance, the push. There's a force inside the seed that pushes the growing plant. One can look at it like that. I could say it pushes the seedling up towards the light. But it's again a question of perspective, right? Where's up and where's down? But it pushes, or maybe it doesn't push itself towards the light. The light is pulling it towards itself. The magnetic sun pulls the life force. It nurtures it with light, and there's a magnetic pull towards the light. Synchronization, synchronicity, evolution, evolve. How are we evolving? Our receptive inner being, the magician, is the heart-centered space, heart space, the wizard, the white wizard. Something in me just said the heart can't lie, but immediately the mind is like, what? Is that true? And something else in me is like, I am not engaging in the debate. I am not. I'm just not. We save it for another day. Like, I can generate information that appears to me to be completely meaningless. Not entirely meaningless, but it doesn't matter whether the die falls left or right or what. Whatever information. You can always create a world in which it's true, a world in which it's not. What does it matter? But here we have the earth, the earth. Well, what is the earth? It's not either or, it's both and more. It's physical, biological, crystalline, multidimensional, non-physical. It's everything. And we are too. Today we are self-existing earth. What navigates us? Which fields are we exploring? Inner, outer, fields of peace, are we exploring dream fields? Are we exploring our own artistic way of living? Everything we do is art, everything we are all artists. We're all creative. Do I spend my time to rub myself up against the creations of so-called or so appearing others? Where do I guide my focus? Who or what guides my focus? Yellow seed, the occult partner of the red earth. We all know what we focus on increases. And how often do we try to force our focus? Conscious focus versus unconscious focus. Which is stronger? How often is there a tug of war inside of us? How often do we not even notice the tug of war? We just see, like, I keep focusing green, but I keep drawing red. How come? And then there's so many answers to that question, so many ways of looking at that. Endless inspiration. If I look at a tree, it wasn't conceived yesterday as a concept of a tree. Not this particular tree, but trees. They've been around a long time. Most things on the earth have been around a long time, and yet the earth too is subject to evolution and change. And if she can allow herself to have 79% of all life forms go extinct in one fell swoop, and she brings up out of that 3%, where does all of life come from again? From the quantum field? If in the physical third dimension things go extinct or disappear, anything gets wiped out, information systems, cultures, knowledge, life forms, is it really? It's just in the third dimension. It cannot be made non-existent. Anything that exists eternally. It cannot be turned into non-existence. It just can't. Because the minute that would happen, that it would no longer be it. So therefore, more like we've changed perspective rather than it has changed itself. Man, that's a rabbit hole. Our values are a major component of the drivers of our navigational systems. And how many of our values have we chosen? How many were we given? How many have we inherited? How many do we ingest unconsciously and accept? As a collective of whatever size, 2 people or 8 billion people, we're constantly navigating between personal and collective, personal needs and collective needs, and there's the art of navigating that, the dance. Do we, how do I speak free from judgment? Do we solve our, if I use the word solve, I'm already implying something needs to be solved. Harmoniously. The occult power of the Skywalker who's guiding us today is the star, yellow star. And the Skywalker who guides us today was the last, we met him on the cosmic tone of the last wave spell. Cosmic Skywalker, tone 13. So whatever endures, it guides us. the end of the day, harmony endures. Systems that last a very long time are built on harmony and a benefit to each part. Each part thrives, and together they form a system, attraction-based universe. There may be one question, but 8 billion answers. And when we put them together, in some ways the AI is doing that for us, right? Never mind any kind of biases that might be programmed into the system. If I ask ChatGPT a question, ChatGPT synthesizes from the collective. However, if there is a bias in there, such as reading my cues, reading subtle cues from the way I talk, and then tailoring the answers ChatGPT gives to me based on my own preference, if I'm not aware of that, it's such a clear reflection. ChatGPT nonetheless is such a clear reflection. And even if it gets biased, it's still a clear reflection. I don't know if that makes sense. Like using social media, it can have all kinds of biases in there, but it is going to reflect the individual using it. To the degree you understand those biases, or you're aware of them, or you work with them, or you just circumvent them because they don't I mean, if ChatGPT is biased answering me in my direction, can I alert both of us to that and say, can you give me an answer that's not biased in my direction? But you cannot give an instruction with saying, do something that's not that. Mind you, wonder what ChatGPT would say to that. They have an answer to everything. So yeah, I'm going on about what? I notice that I speak a lot about this sort of duality, the lunar eagle in this wave spell. I wonder if it was the same in the last wave spell. The lunar wind, the second position, second day, the challenge of the challenge of the wave spell, perhaps. In this case, the lunar eagle. How mental am I becoming? How much am I going into mind space? How am I tuning my focus very wide or very narrow? Do I see that seed 3,000 kilometers away from me and I know like I can head for it and go poof? Or am I receptive? Am I feminine, receptive wizard, or am I active, charging, bird focus? Am I cruising, wings open in the sky and just observing the wider field below me or inside me, just sensing my what I'm feeling? Or am I focusing action? Now, these are decision makers, markers for what navigates us. And behind that, if we're struggling, no, wait, where was I coming from? Am I focused on the collective and the individual? These polarities. We're constantly navigating these polarities. And our intuition, the blue night, attests like an antipodal position to the Skywalker today. It's also, there are smart systems that already exist. We just need to link into them. They already exist. The Tzolk'in already exists. And yet there's so much room. The earth already exists, but there's so much room for, it's not cast in stone. We are still evolving. In the last couple of years, one would get the impression that we have two, in a year cycle, two sprouting seasons. One in the spring and one in the fall. I don't recall it being like that. I recall it being things sprout in the spring, and in the fall they lose their leaves and whatever, prepare for winter, go to sleep, come back to life in spring. Nowadays there's a lot of sprouting going on in autumn. And why not? Everything, we can try it all out. What happens if we have blossoming, blooming season all year long? What if we have fruit season, different trees and different fruit season all year long? Could be really cool. Or we say no, collectively we want to feel the burn of like not having something for a really long time. In my experience, a lot of our humanity, and not all of it, is biased towards the extremes, because it's kind of like holding your breath, and then in the last minute, like the last second, last microsecond, rushing, and all that does. Sometimes you're like, no, I don't want to go extreme at all. I need a steady pulse. I need to know there's food when I want food. I don't need to go for weeks without. Starve myself to a point where then cardboard tastes like the best thing ever. But both are valid experiences. And everything in between. Navigating Earth, navigating society, navigating individuation with being a part of a collective. What bonds us together as humans could be. What's tone number 3 in the yellow human wave spell? So we have a human magnetic, Skywalker. Of course, it's the wizard. So we have now, we can pre-pave or lay the pipes already for what's coming, right? Wizard, receptivity. Oh man, and it's just like, yeah, of course. Why do we, no, we don't need to say that. Truly being in receptive mode can be really such a challenge. Because we're generally, I generalize a lot. It's just, yeah, many of us are very conditioned to being very active. And if we don't do it, if you don't do it, it isn't going to happen. If you don't make it happen, it isn't going to happen. It's true. For some things, it's very true. But for some, it's not. Where is the yellow human? In this wave spell. He's not directly present. Today, we can meet the human in two directions. Our antipode today is blue hand, and it is the yellow human is the how funny. The yellow human is the best friend, the twin kin of the blue hand. but it's the antipode to the white wind, who we also have as our own twin kin today. And just let that sink in. It's the antipode to the white wind and the analog to the blue hand. And today, this yellow seed here, today is on tone 8. I want to check up something. In case I'm too lazy to think about that. I should know it, of course. No, it's tone 10. Yeah, it's tone 10. Which means what? What does that mean? It's guided by the yellow human. I wondered if it wasn't maybe so. And yes, it is. I mean, hello. Thank you. Oh, thank you. And the antipodal position to the yellow seed is the white wizard. Oh, such beautiful choreography. Why does it matter? How does it help? How is it practical in navigating? Does that mean we have to make some choices? Our choices determine everything. They determine everything. So how important is it that we learn what we can and what we cannot choose? Whoever is the same with our values. Whoever determines what we can choose determines a lot. Who or whatever determines our values determines our choices. How self-determining are we today? This earth is self-existing. The self-existing seed, I was about to say, that self-existing seed, incidentally, is the last wave spell. The dragon, the first wave spell, we've just been through it. I'd like to link us back, because this linking back and forth, this weaving, the loom, this whole Tzolk'in 260 loom, and you weave around, and it, to me, I was thinking, it grounds me at once in this, or it's a rhythmic. Sometimes it's at once. It's not either or. It's both and more. So now and then it's in this now, so rooted in the now. And what is my focus in this now? Wizard, focus, seed, antipode to the wizard, but still necessary. Wide focus, narrow focus. Am I giving up control and I let things now happen, or am I needing to be taking action, or at least by way of determining my focus? The seed in the first wave spell, self-existing seed, magnetic dragon, lunar wind, electric night, self-existing seed. So we're sharing the self-existing tone. Today we have the self-existing earth. The earth is the occult position of the seed. So it would have been on top, the planetary earth, underneath the seed. Now who is the guide to that then? The serpent, life force. Okay, that's a little further than I'm willing to spin right now. Just touching on that element. But we're flowering to know what we can and what we cannot influence. I've spoken a lot about influence on the day of the yellow human, possibly the day afterward. So important what we can influence and what we can't, and how, and what are the reasons we need to influence, what we feel we need to influence. Freedom, we're heading for the storm, the ultimate liberator. Yeah, can liberate us highly forcefully from things we did not think we needed to be liberated from, like a house destroyed in a hurricane. And who are we synchronizing? Red Earth, our free will. We have the human, so much yellow human today. I repeat, it's the antipode to our, it's the analog to our antipode today and the antipode to our analog strength, to power today. So we can, I'm not here to give answers to that. It's just like spirit, wind, hand, completion, knowing, healing. And then it's guiding this particular seed that we are, that's our occult power today. Our occult friends, the guide, the human guides, influence, free will. There comes a point in each life, in at least one. I mean, we decide how much choice do we have? How free are we? How free are we? And that freedom, to a lot of people, is incredibly scary, but it's also, that's why we get to choose to not be so free. And I use the word choose. I mean, if I'm only looking at life as my earthbound, here's the day I was born and there's the day I die and that's my life, and everything about me has to be explained, perhaps I can extend it by 9 months conception, and then I can sort of extend it and look into my DNA and my parents and my grandparents and the ancestral codes that also determine something, right? And as soon as we start doing that, we are already opening up the endless field of possibilities, what's influencing what. So actually, I can't really stay within the limits of my biological life, third dimensional biological life, to explain myself to myself. What decisions can I make? What decisions do I make? And how, and what ability to make decisions do I have? What do I believe? What do I know about it? Is my knowing a believing? Is it just a collective belief? Is my knowing a delusion? Perhaps a collective delusion? Is the delusion, what is the saying? Today's truth is tomorrow's illusion. So often true, yeah? But that doesn't, I prefer not to, we're evolving. So even the illusions we are following or believing in today that are influencing our choices today, we outgrow them, but doesn't make us we are wonderful creatures. We are really special species. We are really special species. We're learning free will. Are we learning free will? Collective evolution is the evolution of individual parts. We're not all evolving in the same direction, and we don't need to. I'm gonna love and leave us here. receptive mode on December 20, what? 6th, Friday. We're approaching the year of the fire horse in Chinese calendar. I don't know exactly when that date switch is. I find it very interesting, these calendars that have attributes to time, like the Chinese years each have a snake, dragon, rat, year of the rabbit, whatever, but it has a meaning, it means something. So when you're looking ahead in time, you're not even looking so much ahead in time, you're looking ahead into a quality of being that you can, with attributes that you can use to evolve yourself towards. If I'm taking Gregorian time calendar, I am looking at 2026. What is that? It's nothing. It's another year. It's just another year with a different name. If I look numerologically, it's the year 1. This year is the year 9, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So there's again meaning. Now I can evolve myself along the meaning. Such a different way of looking at time. Evolving, cyclical and spiral time is very different to linear time. If we're looking at time through the lens of astrology, we also can look forward and can see, in 3 days or 3 months, planets are doing X, Y, Z. These are their transits. This is that. This is who they're touching. This is who they're blah, 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 moving closer to, further from. These are the influences that are coming. We can prepare and we can mentally tune toward the influences we want more of. And it's a very different way of living life with a future rather than that is evolving, rather than, next year I'm turning age X and it means that, and then I'm just a year older, anybody, like whatever, that's, you're just getting older in Gregorian time. I mean, that's a navigational system. We're getting older. In some cultures, getting older is fantastic because you're getting wiser, you get more respect, you're evolving, you have more life experience. It's seen as an entirely positive thing. In other cultures, it's entirely the opposite. Oh, sad. I find that sad. I'm placing a value judgment on that. Yep. In the Western world, aging is it's more, it tends, I generalize, but I think we're looking at it more like a problem. So we're on this anti-aging agenda. And again, that's a value system. Whose value system? And whose truth? As from the age of X, biologically speaking, everything devolves. Everything gets worse, or everything you just like on the downslide. Like, says who I'm repeating myself. I'm aware of that. It's just these are such fundamental, core fundamental pillars for a GPS or value systems or belief systems we share collectively. Collective belief systems are, they're hard to break, and you don't we waste no time trying to break them. Just build new ones. Just get out of there. It's not life affirming unless you like it. If it's like, yeah, I want to go that route. I see where that route is going. I see where it's leading me. I'm going to go there. I choose that. Very often we consciously would say, oh no, terrible, but we're still going there. So often, even though we're not choosing to. Or we see other people go there and we think they haven't chosen to be like that. They didn't choose that. It's well worth investigating the choices they have made. Even collectively, not even only individually. We are all representatives of the collective to a degree, aspects of the collective. What choices are we making about the future? Where are we navigating? There's a lot on offer. The world is a place, the earth, the human world, it's definitely in my eyes a place that offers a lot of options. You don't have to buy them, you don't have to take them. Just because it's somebody who's getting the Nobel Prize, whatever that means. Excuse me. It's a paradigm system within which certain things have been agreed upon. And if you come up with certain things that are inside that system, someone decides your discovery, scientific Nobel Prizes, some value system decides that is worthy of a Nobel Prize. Something else might be infinitely more worthy of that Nobel Prize, but it will never make it there because it is paradigm shattering to a degree that it would dissolve. It's just like not really, the system isn't ready to have itself shattered. So it can't give the Nobel Prize to that. But it's just kind of like, if we can bear that in mind, I mean, for me, the whole system kind of personally lost its meaning when people who make a lot of, seem to be quite involved in wars, are getting Peace Nobel Prize. It's a bit weird. I don't understand it, but maybe I don't have the full picture. What is the meaning? Is it like, are you showing us that there's no meaning? The things you think have meaning ought to be questioned. Yesterday, we come from the Yellow Warrior. Question everything. Take your own world apart, then nobody can do that for you. You're not shocked anymore that things are like not what they seem to be, because you're constantly checking up on shit and like it's not what it seems to be. I remember the very first time that happened, I was in my early 20s, and I was already deep into my ability to question shit comes from somewhere far away or a long time ago or deep in my structure. But I had one thing that I was like, okay, I can question anything and everything, but I know what love is. I have been loved. I have loved. I have built the bloody factory that prints the t-shirt, blah, 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 you know that thing. And a friend who, anything that person said, I could not ignore it. Just asked, we wonder if she knows what love is. And for a moment, my entire system went into a reeling shock. At the same time, oh no, this ain't happening. I just created a copy of myself instantly that was like, okay, we're safe. Everything, I was just like, or maybe I just knew that I had made copies of myself, but like I moved into a copy version of myself while this mental virus he just placed into me was doing its thing in there. And it took me like 3 days to come to the realization that I'm afraid that question mark has to stay there. And I am content to not be able to answer this conclusively anymore. That was earth-shattering because, I mean, I come from a system where I was also trained to believe in certain absolutes. Certain things are like, they are a core foundation of a reality. And that doesn't have to change. Within that they are. And I realized that, I learned that in time. Then eventually it's like, yeah, you, sometimes the whole thing he has to shake, whatever. There's every paradigm exists in its own dimension, whatever. So I am a multidimensional being, so I can choose the versions of me that live where that is true, and that's a fundamental truth, that I know what love is. But by the existence of that, I have to allow that the opposite version of that of me also exists. And since I like exploring, when I start exploring that version with the tools of the other version, well, things get interesting, should I put it that way? Yeah. Fearlessness, navigation. Who navigates? If I'm sitting in a car and someone else is driving that car, I have surrendered to their driving skills. And there are a few things as annoying as passengers who haven't done that. Passenger drivers who keep interfering with the driver. Oh, lol. But sometimes we are that one, and it's like, it's just like these instincts we can't control. If we could, we would, right? Then we'd go into surrender, like, I trust your driving skills. I don't have to tell you where to go or how to go or when to hit the brakes or how fast or how slow or what or what. That's a fun analogy. But at the end of the day, all of it is a reflection of our own inner mechanics. Me and me. I am many. Who's sitting at in the driver's seat? Who's navigating? And what's the goal? And what are these aspects of me? Some of me wants to go left, but my navigation is indicating right. So what does that mean? Do I just think we're heading for the same goal? I think some part of me thinks we ought to go left. Some other thing says go right. Do I surrender and understand we're still going to get there, it's just a different route? Or should I check, are we heading in the same direction? It seems so very theoretical perhaps, but it isn't. Because at the end of the day, life can become so complex, and that's where Blue Night and intuition comes in. It's completely simple. You don't need to make any of these decisions at all. Align your will with the divine will and you're done. Yellow human, 3 times present today. Red earth, navigate, evolve, synchronicity. I have left us some minutes ago. I have loved us continuously, since I clearly haven't left us yet. I want to love again and leave again us now, because otherwise I'll just keep on talking. Happy 26th of December. Navigating yourself through your inner spaces, through your inner world, reflected in the outer world. And tomorrow is a white mirror day in position 5 in the White Wizard world. White Wizard world is in the world of the White Wizard. Wave spell. Tone 5. Tones 1 through 4 activate tone 5. You can think of the last 4 days? How are they activating your day tomorrow? To me, I can't do that. Doesn't make sense to me to do that. If I look at the 4 seals, wizard, eagle, wizard, eagle, warrior, and earth, and I let those reverberate in me, then I can do this thing about tomorrow. But the thing is, I don't need to, because I've already done it. So let's see. I let go of the driver's seat. I align myself with this moment. I align my will with divine will. I let go. I see what the next moment brings. Probably some food and laundry. And then I have no idea beyond that. And tomorrow is the truth reflected back. What am I synchronized with? Tomorrow is a great day to see, to show that, to focus on that. Anytime the outer reflects the inner reflects the outer. As above, so below. Universal principle. White mirror. Radiating. Your heart space, your life reflects your relationship with your own heart space, perhaps. Perhaps in this wave spell we can look at it like that. Perhaps tomorrow we can look at it like that. What are we radiating? What are we sharing with the world? What are we giving to ourselves? What are we that we give? What do we have that we can give to the collective? And how do we, just hearing someone's self-hatred saying like, oh man, I'm just what value do I add to the collective? There's that little voice. I'm sure everyone knows it. Or maybe not, but many of us know it. And it's like, yeah, even you are a valuable part of the collective, because you're a connector that connects us. Self-doubt connects us. No one is alone with self-doubt, because there isn't only one self-doubting. But the self-doubt element is pretty isolated. It's an isolate. What's an isolate? I want to go look up isolates. Isolates. They are something in some world. Protecting. Isolation is very often a protecting the integrity of a thing by not letting it be influenced by anything else. And that can be healthy or not. That can be either or both and more. Okay, Tatiana, that's enough. Oh, enjoy your day. Oh.